can see the state line on the map now. I don't know why I couldn't see that before. So I am traveling on the 94 east, headed west. So I'm going to be like doing some kind of... Bro, what are you dragging under your car? Can't hear that? That's what's wrong with listening to the radio. Anywho, I'm entering Montana from the west. From the east. So I'm traveling west into Montana on the east. The construction, now that's, no, because it's the interstate. No? Who's paying for this construction? I mean, construction goes right across the state line? I am so confused, right? Don't states pay for their roads? How can you... What's your sign say? Nothing. Just welcome to. I'm in Montana.
Welcome to Montana.
There it is. The sign just said welcome to Montana. It didn't say anything. And now I'm back on the west side, traveling west. Whoa, Montana. Speed limit 80? Okay. So I'm in Montana now. Welcome to Montana. First impressions, speed limit 80? Let's effing do this. Am I right? I don't know why I even get excited. I drive 80 anyway, regardless. All that means is I'm not. Transport of invasive species to Montana is illegal. Even though, all that means is I'm not going to be shaving time off the clock. Like hell I won't. I guess this is a new challenge. Challenge accepted. 80 roads in Montana. Montana's route signs are little arrowheads, and they're like serrated arrowheads, which is cool. I'm driving with two hands because it feels like I'm speeding. I don't understand why. It's just, I don't know. I guess because you know why? I am butt quack time. Oh, it's a zoo. Because sometimes like I drive fast, and then sometimes I just like chillax and go the speed limit. But the speed limit is the driving fast. So it's two-hand time. What did I turn the camera on for? Oh, arrowheads, yeah. Serrated arrowheads. It's cute. So I'm just cruising through Montana today. I guess this makes sense because I'm fairly certain I'm going to be in Washington State tomorrow. Because there's what? Idaho? But the Panhandle part, so that doesn't even really count. Yeah, I'm going to be in Washington State tomorrow. Anyway, cruising through Montana. It looks just like North Dakota, except you're speeding the entire time. I mean, if I was in my car, okay. I mean, this road honestly probably would only be good up to like 100, maybe, because it's got a lot of dips and whoops and everything. But at least it would not be difficult to maintain 80 in my car. It is difficult to maintain 80 in this if the grade starts to increase and it's flat and windy. But burning hell through Montana today because the state tells me I must. Okay, I'm going to Billings and then Bozeman. So my paper map fell on the floor. I'm getting off in 22 miles for a gas station. I guess I can check that. So I'm mighty confused. Montana's the same beyond the guardrail. There's fences. I don't know. It just seems different to me. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but it just, I really do think it's just the little tiny fences, because like I see animals, but they're behind a fence, so they're not wild animals. Somebody owns the animals. So I mean, it's still pretty, but it's like, I don't know. It's just hitting me different. And yeah, guys, the weather people aren't lying. It's 81 degrees right now. Like, and I just, my phone still tells me the home temperature, like on my home page of my phone. 50, 51, I think it said it was, and either raining or cloudy. And in Montana, you want to get in front of me, guy? I mean, go ahead. Hey! He's got a dark night license plate. DRKNITE. My brother has a dark night license plate. But my brother's license plate is from like 20 years ago, well before the Dark Knight movie came out. You can tell by looking at it, because he needs a new license plate. Jonathan, you need a replacement license plate for that. You can barely read it. I keep meaning to tell you, but the only time I notice is when I'm behind you somewhere, and that's normally when I'm on my way home from Quizzo, and then you go home and I go home, so I forget. You need a new license plate, but this guy's got a Dark Knight license plate. Anyway, it's 81 degrees in northern Montana, like I even need to say northern. This guy is on my last nerve. In the end of September, and y'all have to deal with 50-something degrees. Like, I'm super sorry. Maybe you could just, take a month off of work and drive.
Take exit 213 from Montana 16 towards Sydney.
Oh my, I'm at 1,988 miles. I'm almost 2,000 miles away from you guys. I gotta get gas in this beautiful 81 degree, sunny, full sun. I can't see a cloud anywhere. Temperature. Okay, when I stopped at the gas station, I figured it out. I also cleaned my window, but I'm not tall enough to do a very good job, but it is better than it was. So Billings is 216 miles, 3 hours away. And then after Billings, Bozeman is 2 more hours away. So it's like 5 hours. But it's the 94 to whatever, and then the 90. So that's why the fact that I'm at exit 210, but Billings is 215 miles away. And then Bozeman is another, like, I don't know, 200 miles beyond that, maybe 160 beyond that, whatever. The point of the story is, because I go from the 94 to the 90, so the 94 is only 211 miles long. So I guess the 94, I'm just driving to the end of it. Just ends. I mean, I'm sure it turns into like a not interstate or something smaller, but so yeah. 3 hours and 2 hours, it's 5 hours, 5 more hours of driving. It's 2 o'clock, so I'm probably not gonna spend that long in Billings, because I really enjoy getting to, like, settling down for the night around 7. Like, I like that. I spent more time in Theodore Roosevelt National Park than I thought I would. I'm still off with the time zones, though. I only spent one day in 1 hour behind, and then I switched to 2 hours behind the next day. So 2 hours behind, and I'm not adjusted to it. And tomorrow, I'm gonna be another hour behind. So it's not a lot of time to adjust, but so point of the story is, 7 o'clock's like 8 o'clock for me. It's not like 9 o'clock. I've adjusted 1 hour, but I've gone two hours different. So I don't know how long I'm going to stay in Billings, because again, I like getting settled around 7. That's nice. And again, I can't. This says I'll be there around 7. It's accurate, because I'm doing 74 right now. Like, I'm not even doing the 80 that I'm supposed to be doing. I'll see. Maybe the more time I shave off, the more time I can spend at Billings. So I'm gonna start driving. Okay, this is super creepy. Remember that truck that like cut me off? Well, whatever. Dark Knight. He got off an exit. I kept going. Then I got off an exit, got gas, got back on the highway, and then some asshole's coming up behind me again. It's like I'm in the right lane and I'm doing 84. What would you like from me, sir? Goes around me. I literally slowed down to 79 to get him to just like go around me. It's the same Dark Knight guy. He must have got off at the exit to get gas on the exit he did, and then I happened to get off. I'm like, how am I seeing Dark Knight again? Like, this is crazy. There's no one else on the roads, not in either direction. The only car I've seen in, 40 miles is Dark Knight. Twice. And that's it. Which makes it hard to maintain speed because you have to look at your speedometer. There's nothing else to gauge how fast you're going. It's just open nothingness. So I tried to set my cruise control. So I figured, you know what, let's just do it. Like, because again, 80 on this is insane. And I want to try to shave time off, so I would like to be doing like 85, 90 miles an hour. You can't set the cruise control that high. It will not let me set the cruise control above 75. Now, I don't know if that's because this vehicle has, like, it knows what the speed limit is. But the vehicle knows the speed limit is 70. Google Maps knows it's 80. You know what? There was a sign that said speed limit 80, trucks 70. Does this thing think it's a truck? I mean, it's got a truck plate and it weighs 2.5 tons, but I'm certain that when the signs say trucks, they mean like over, 10 tons, like, tractor trailers. So, because it says this thinks it's 70, and I think there's like a safety feature or something where I can't set the cruise control more than 5 over the posted speed limit, which this thinks is 70. So I can't even set the cruise control. Like I said, I was like, yeah, you know what? I talk about whatever, but there's nothing out here. There's no cars. There's no exits. There's like, I don't have to pay attention. I could take a freaking nap. I mean, the road's straight. It's sunny. It's daytime. There's no glares. It's the safest road to drive on in the world. Doesn't matter. But I literally can't even set the cruise control. So see, this is why I hate this technology crap. Because like, now that I did want to try it out, I can't. So, Bad Route Road. There is an exit coming up for Bad Route Road. But again, like, I imagine when they say trucks, like for instance, they're telling me all trucks stop at way station. Like, that doesn't mean me. I understand my license plate says truck on it. I understand I have to pay like $280. What is it, like $236 or some bull crap for registration? I understand I'm not a passenger vehicle. But that's not what they mean by trucks. It really is the fences and the wires, the overhead lines that just ruin this for me. I'm in Prairie County. It's gorgeous, but then there's these effing, metal and wooden metal structures. Like, there's one way out there. Like, and again, with the fence, I don't like it. I mean, whose land is that I don't know. It's so pretty, and it's just ruined. The thing about honestly, the fences and the telephone wires or electric wires really ruin the landscape. And it's interesting because out west, when it was like not grass, when it was like dirt and sand and rocks, it didn't ruin the landscape. acres. Not really, but like hundreds of acres. That's not an exaggeration. Can you just bump your fence back like 200 feet just so I don't have to look at it? I mean, there's nothing I can do about the telephone lines, but I cannot believe how much something like that simple ruins the landscape for me. And again, it did not ruin the landscape when it was like dirt and rocks and stuff, but it ruins this landscape. I'm wondering how the GPS is going to handle this right now, because the west 80 is like way over there now, and like on a different grade. I'm above it. Yeah, so I'm getting a little annoyed at Montana. Sucks that I'm going to be in it. I mean, it's 83 now and sunny. Oh, which reminds me, I stopped at the gas station, and of course the pump didn't work. Said you had to pay inside, whatever. So I just went inside and paid. And the woman who worked there, I was talking to her about the weather and stuff, and she said, like, this is normal for this time of year. Because, I mean, she's from around here, she knows. And I was like, but I thought it snowed, like, in October. She's like, oh, yeah, mid-October it snows. So I was like, but it's normal to be in the 80s at the end of September. And she's like, yep. And I was like, so it just kind of happens? And she's like, yep. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, she seemed like obvious. Duh, that's what happens. You know, it's summer and then it's winter. Apparently that's just what happens, and everyone should know that. She wasn't rude or anything like that. I feel like I'm making her out to be rude. But it just, it's funny that that's whatever. Ferry. Nope, that says Terry. I was going to say, what are you going to ferry me across? Because I'll take it. I don't really want to go on a ferry, because I feel like that's the ultimate test to panic attacks, because feeling trapped was like the agoraphobia. You like being trapped as long as you're trapped in a nice place. You don't like being trapped. It doesn't matter. Trapped is a bad thing when you have panic attacks. And the ferry is basically the ultimate trapping. Because it's like, it gives you the illusion that you're not trapped because you have your vehicle, but you're trapped. I don't know if I can handle that. But because of how much this landscape is pissing me off, I would have taken a ferry. But unfortunately, it was just telling me the town was called Terry, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how long I'm on the I-94 east headed west. There's only I'm only the 94 west, it says 84 miles. And then, like I said, I think I switched to the 90. So 8 miles of construction. 8 miles is how long I'm going to be on it. That's what they told me. Out of construction, there's some other vehicles on the road now, and I gotta tell you, Mr. Dark Knight is pissing me off like you couldn't believe. Like, again, I'm just cruising in the right lane because there's not really many vehicles. There are some, but you know, and you go around them. And like, he's cruising in the left, and then decides to come to the right in front of me, and he's only like 8 feet in front of me. Like, why? 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 And not to be whatever, but he's driving a Ford truck. Which, by the way, Danny and his truck that I thought was a Ford was not a Ford. It was actually a Chevy. So, the stereotype still holds true. Ford drivers suck. At this point, Nick, I don't even care if you're offended. You might suck as a driver. I actually haven't seen you drive. I think I've been in the car with you once. No. I've never been in the car with you driving. You were in my car. It was me driving. So, yeah. Also, the bugs here are gigantic, and I cleaned my windshield. Again, I didn't do an excellent job, but at least it was clean. And now it's not again. I mean, when I came into Montana, I said, I think I'm going to like it, right? Maybe I will. But I'm getting a real... I'm getting a New Mexico vibe, guys. It's just... We'll see. We'll see. so it looked nice for them. And what do I need an extra 20 feet for when I have over 3 acres? That's how I feel about these people. What do you need this extra space for? Just push your fence back so I don't have to look at it. It's that simple. Be kind, people. I mean, and the only reason, like, the people told me not to put my fence 20 feet back is because if somebody injured themselves on that property, it's technically my property, blah, blah, blah. But I don't live in fear, you know, whatever. So, yeah, if I can give up 20 feet of my measly 3 acres, these people could give up, you know, 100 yards of their hundreds of acres. Just, the reward is being a nice person. The reward, if you must have one, is just feeling good about yourself. Because it doesn't matter. Be courteous to others. The fencing has gotten worse. It's gotten bigger. It's on both sides of the road. It's like, do you see how that ruins it? There's, I mean, right now there's a hill you can't really see, but I can see those mountains back there if it wasn't for this effing fence. Like, ew. Just saw somebody else pulled over on the other side of the road up here. And then the thing told me that there's a speed trap ahead. So I guess they do care if you're speeding, with the speed limits being 80 and there being nothing and anything going on. Now, to be fair, it's the 26th of the month, and we all know that you have to get your quota by the end of the month. So, you know, there's more or less, you know, there's going to be more activity. Did y'all know that? I assume that's true. I've never checked into it, but it's something my father always says. Of course they pulled me over. It's the end of the month. They have to get their quota. I don't know if it's real. I have 1,000 cop friends I could ask, but yeah, so they do care if you're speeding. Because 80, so learning. Learning is so much fun. Okay guys, I got it. Okay. I love driving around and talking to this camera. Obviously, I guess you guys know that, or else why would I be doing it? I love doing it. So, the YouTube channel idea, I drive around and just do self-help videos. But here's the best part. Guess what I'll call it? Guess what I'll call it? Are you ready? Wheeling and healing. I mean, wheeling and healing. It's just some chick driving around the country filming self-help videos while behind the wheel of her 2.5-ton beast. Yeah. I love that. Also, I am getting off an exit in 14 miles. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's maybe when the 94 turns into the 90. I don't know. We'll see. Road's changing. Ask me how meth made me a refugee. The Montana Meth Project. I didn't know meth was a problem out here. I mean, what are you going to do? Be like, hey guys, you want to jump on the I-94, you know, and head 2 hours down the road for our meth dealer? I mean, there's like no one and nothing out here. I mean, you could have a meth lab pretty much anywhere. But at the same time, that people have to get to that. You have to get to your drug dealer. I didn't think it was a statewide issue. But apparently it is. Check out the Montana Meth Project for me and let me know what that means. As I was driving, I was thinking of the whole meth situation. Like maybe
2 miles, take exit 95 toward Forsyth.
Maybe there are cities in Montana. I haven't come across anything yet. It's been like, there hasn't even been towns, let alone cities. So I can push the button on the Google thingy on my phone while I'm driving and talk to it and ask it questions, and then tells me answers. So I asked it what the most populated city in Montana was, because I was like, right, maybe there's cities, right? There's cities. And it said Billings, which is where I'm headed, is the most populated city. And I was like, great, I'm headed to the most populated city in the state. It's got 117,000 residents. Okay? Like under 120,000 residents is the biggest city. Philly's got what, like 1.2 million? I don't know, something ridiculous. I mean, the biggest city is like a little over 100,000 people. And interestingly enough, when I asked it the most populated city, it also told me the least populated city, and that was Old Swart. I forget what it's called, but it is 17 people. 17. So I would notice some license plates out here, and there's like 4 digits long, and I was like, do they not have licensed drivers in Montana? Is that why I don't see any? Maybe they don't.
Half a mile. Take exit 95 toward Forsyth.
Again, there are cities, there are towns, but the biggest one is, I think Newtown's got like 30,000 people. I don't really know. But I assume 100,000 is quite tiny. Okay, the GPS just had me get off exit 95. And then it was like, in a quarter mile, merge onto the I-94 West. It had me get off just to get right back on. I don't know what's wrong with it. I literally got off the off-ramp, stopped at a stop sign, crossed the street, and went back onto the on-ramp. I don't know. I don't know, silly Google Maps. Why did you do that? Doesn't make any sense, but now I'm on the 94 for another 78 miles now. So, Billings is only 98 miles away though, so, I mean, I don't understand. And so Billings is 98 miles away. It wants me to get off in 78 miles. And on exit 14. So 94 will be finishing itself early at some point. But yeah, it just had me get off and right back on. Okay. Needed a little break. Needed to switch pedals for a minute, I guess. Guys, it's 87 degrees and full sun. Is there a fake beach around here? Because, I mean, I just feel like pulling over and just laying on the side of the berm of, there's probably so many ticks and bugs and shit. It's 87 degrees and full sun. I'm overdressed. Okay? I mean, I thought it was going to be hot in like I brought clothes for warm because I'm going to Southern California, and I just assume it's hot, like LA area all the time. I could be wrong. I only look up the town I'm headed to next for the weather. I don't look in the future. I didn't Google like average temps in October in California. I didn't. But yeah, 87 degrees. I would not want to be hiking in this. Where am I going? I'm going somewhere to hike right now. It's kind of hot to hike, but whatever. Maybe I'll just put a bikini on and start hiking around. People look at me anyway. I might as well. Hiking boots, and my hiking boots are like boots with like fake, might be, I don't know what it is. They're sorrel boots. They've got like the fur around the heel, around the ankle, you know, whatever. Wool type looking stuff, not like fur. So yeah, I'll just hike around in hiking boots and a bikini. It's not like more people will look at me, so I can't believe it. I'm excited about it. I love the warmth. I love it. So I just really, really wanted to get through these upper states before October because I don't want to deal with snow. And now I'm dealing with 87 degree weather. I love it. It's exciting. Okay, I feel like I'm in like the Adirondacks or something. I mean, I know, like I said, Billings sounds like a ski town. So I expected it to look like this. What I did not expect, 89 degrees. I thought when I started coming up these mountains it would get colder. It didn't. It's 89. And like I said, it's like, you know, the mountain is evergreens and stuff. Like I imagine this is covered with snow most of the year. But it's not. It's 89 degrees. But like this is a completely different landscape than like 20 minutes ago. It's still got like, it's got the greens, the evergreens of, you know, like I said, the Adirondacks, but it's also got the rocks of the plains desert rocks and evergreens. It blows my mind. Oh, it just hit 90 degrees. Would you believe me if I told you that the 94 is under construction again? Now, the GPS is telling me to get off the exit, but it's telling me to get right back on again, so obviously I'm not going to do that. But,
Take exit 14.
oh. But we have to. Everyone's taking exit 14. This part actually is closed.
Continue for half a mile.
Okay, 94 ended and just became 90. Like, not an exit or anything, just like you have to exit on 0 if you want to go east, but since we're still going west on the 90, that's it. And boom, 94 is done. We're on the 90. So I went to the end of the 94. I wonder where it started. I wonder how many miles of the 94 I did. Probably most of them. But now I'm on the 90. And now, which means there's another 452 miles in, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, which means I'm 452 miles from Idaho. But Idaho's, like I said, it's the panhandle part of it, so Idaho's like whatever. But still quite a bit of time in Montana. 455. It's first exit. So another one was 300 and something. 455, 300 and something. I think it was like 320. It's called 325, 325, 455. That's what? 780? I didn't do that math. I just came up with a number. 55, 25. I do that with, for some reason, like I don't add the number in my head and I just know the answer. So 790 miles wide.
2 miles. Take exit 452 for US 87 North, I-90 Business North toward Lockwood Roundup.
I think Montana's the widest state. I mean, Texas is wider. But I mean, the fact that it's like a rectangle shape, sort of, it has a little whatever. Yeah, over 700 miles wide. That's crazy. I just realized I managed to do it again. I am in the state's most populated city at 4:52 p.m. on a Tuesday. How did I manage to go to both North Dakota and Montana's most populated states at rush hour? I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Like, I could have done that if I tried. Okay, paying attention. I assure you, I will be doing more research before I keep going to these places.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Coburn Road.
I'm on a gravel road, number one, which I said I wasn't going to do, and it just wasn't worth it. I mean, it was an overlook, it's pretty, but like, I walked around and I thought I was confused. And then I had to go up this Riverjack mountain, and I didn't think it was that steep when I was doing it. I mean, I was getting out of breath, but I just thought, like, that's just me. Then when I came down, like, you had to, like, stutter walk sideways and shuffle your feet because, like, everything was,
Take the next left onto Coburn Road.
pouring out under whatever. It was very steep. But, yeah. I got bit by another bug. There's a bug bite somewhere here on my arm from the other place, and now I just got bit from this place. You're telling me left? Yes. So, I'm gonna get gas. I'm also...
Continue on Coburn Road for 1.5 miles.
I can't breathe out of my nose. There's something around here. So I thought that's why it was like hard for me to breathe walking up that, what I thought was a slight incline. No, it was, there's going to be pictures to see how high up it was. But and it's 89 degrees. So, getting gas. Whoops, I forgot to. God damn it. Okay, I forgot to add the stop for gas to the thing. It was just on the screen. So I'm getting gas, and then I think it's I don't know, a couple hundred miles to Bozeman. Couldn't think of it. To Bozeman. Probably like another 2 hours of driving. So, and that's where I'm stopping for the night. So, gas first, because ever since that, I don't know, second day where like I had no service and no gas and no clue of how to get gas, I've been like not cutting it close. I have 153 miles remaining in my tank right now, and I'm getting gas because that's what you got to do now that you're out here. You know, back closer to home, it's not a big deal. But I mean, out on the 94, there was like nowhere to get gas for hundreds of miles. So I think the 90 is are you the fly or another fly? You little flies, like they're crazy. It's something, like I said, bit me. But that's because it's 89 degrees.
Turn left on Old US 87
and I'm
North.
in the middle of like preserve plants. Oh, so 4 dancers preserved something. That's where I was. This fly is gonna cause me to get into a car accident. All right, on to Bozeman.